You can do it as you like. 24, wasn't it? No, 25. Or was it 26? 26. 26 is the guideline to the theory as far as you're concerned. But what you should be able to do is explain to anyone in your school why anything on 26 is there. Because they're not going to understand this. They're going to look at that and they won't like some of those things. And they won't understand others. Okay, now, when you inform the kid of their mistake and goal, has anyone ever done that? I think you're doing this to be noticed. Yeah? What happened? Say it again? Denial. Yeah, denial at first. They'll often look down. You're looking... See, that's a new thing for me. I did this in primary for the first time. I've mainly worked with secondaries, and they look down and they go quiet. So they'll say no, and they'll look down, they'll break eye contact. In the primary, I said to some kid, I think I know, because he'd have been isolated, I think I know why you had that ball and you didn't put it in the box, and then when the teacher had sat everyone down, you yelled out, where does the ball go, and all that stuff, and then you sort of touched everybody and you walked around the whiteboard and you sang and you did this stuff. I think I know why you did that. And the kid sort of looked at me and I said, did you want the teacher to notice you? And he said, yeah. Oh, now, they're not supposed to say yeah. They're supposed to say no. And that's all I'd ever had. So this kid says, yeah. Now, he might have just been saying that because he wanted to please me. I don't know. And then I said, oh, okay. And did you want the other kids to notice you? Yeah. And so I thought, this is ridiculous. But maybe, because it's early days, it seemed genuine. Others said, look, he might have just been giving you a socially acceptable answer. That's what you wanted to hear. I don't know. But I then said, you know, it does make you get noticed, but it's harder for them to like you when you do that. Now, I could have said they don't like you when you do that, but that would have been much too harsh. It's just harder for them to like you. Now, shall I tell your teacher to let you know when you're doing that sort of thing that's making it harder for people to like you? And so we set it up. I don't know what happened. We just walked out and left it. But that, maybe the teacher followed through, maybe she didn't. But technically, she should have a little sign which says, attention seeking, you know, or something, and not even punish. Don't punish. It's the wrong thing to do. Yes?
We've got a kid who behaves like a B, but he doesn't acknowledge that he's actually done anything wrong, ever.
But that could be because he loves the argument.
Well, I really don't think that he thinks he's done anything wrong. Like,
okay.
We sat down with him one-on-one, all that sort of stuff, and will not acknowledge he's done anything wrong, ever.
What if you were to say, I think you do most of this stuff so we can have this discussion so you can not be convinced? What would he do? In fact, I think you're setting this whole thing up so you can show me that I cannot get you to accept this is your reason. But you know what? You're only doing it for the argument. Now, the question would be, does he do anything else to show you that he's powerful? That's all. I need to know more. Because these kids don't do one thing, they do a range of things. And likewise, I'd ask you, if you ever give him responsibility, is he really good at carrying it out? No. Okay. No, but it's got to be responsible in the area where he's competent. Yeah. No? Okay. Because sometimes these kids do the props in the plays, and they organise them, and they make sure they're correct, you know, and manage groups and all sorts of stuff.
I've tried all that sort of stuff.
Didn't work?
No.
Okay, well, he doesn't fit. I'm happy to live without that. I'm not a firstborn. I have no trouble with that. Now, they don't know, even when you probe them, why they're doing it, except I found out in grade 2 or 3 or whatever it was, they do. But certainly adolescents don't know, and they'll say no and they'll look down. But when you say it, they recognise an element. Now, if I watch this kid, if I was interviewing this kid and I said, that would be interesting, I could interview him if you wanted, and I would say to him, you know, I hear you've been doing this, 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 and this, and this. Could it be you're doing that just so you can have the argument? And I want to see what he does next. If you look down, I'd say, okay, so you know. If he then smiled, I'd know for sure, because that's a pattern I'm used to. How old is he?
Year 8.
Year 8. Yeah, that'd be fine. That should work. I mean, at least I'd know something, because he should not hold eye contact. Well, that's very hard. Then try the line. I think I know. I went to a PD the other day, and you know what? I think now I know what's driving you. But the trouble is, unless you get the right category, it doesn't register. So you've got to think carefully. Is he into revenge, or is he just into the power of the argument? Yeah, well, then theory says they're in 2 of them. That's one of the difficulties. But if you said he was doing it mainly to engage me in this argument that he was responsible. Worth a try. On the email. I'd love to know. Okay, so now this is what we're going to do. We're going to try to solve this problem as pedagogues. How do you build self-esteem? You make them feel competent, useful and belonging. You're already doing that. I don't have to tell you. It's like teaching people to suck eggs. Everybody understands that intuitively. Now, to do that, you can do it through curriculum, you can do it through special activities, you can do it through whatever you like. One teacher showed me she was doing this, where I think I said to you, 3 kids a week were put up, and everyone in the class, it's a bit like that tribe, everyone in the class had to comment on their responsible behaviour during that week. So it highlighted communal responsibility, it highlighted, it's a range of ways of trying to show people that they are very helpful. Okay, so that was one class, I thought that was cute. Now, that's obviously a younger class, right? Yeah. Now, next, you can be sensitive to the state they're in. And as they come in, they get to place themselves along a check-in. Because one of the things is, if you know they are hurting, you can have them express that hurt and then they will not have to show you that hurt. Now, I had a personal experience with this in one of the visits. I had a little kid hang on to, he's about grade 3 or 4, hang on to the teacher's arm. Hang on to her arm, would not let go. And I was visiting, looking around the room, and unfortunately she sort of looked at me plaintively as to say, come on, you're supposed to be able to do stuff, what are you going to do? And I had not an idea, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I thought, okay, so I sort of looked at this kid, and I'm not used to primaries, you know, it's sort of, they're a very unpredictable world to me. So I go up to this kid and I said, you look really upset. And he at least looked at me and I thought, okay, I'll continue this. So I said, yeah, you look really sad. And I could see you relaxed a bit. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw some faces and I want you to point to the face that shows me how happy or sad you are. And he looked at me and I thought, okay, I'm on a winner. So I drew a face and I drew the standard face on there. Actually, I drew that one first, something like that, you know, just 2 eyes. Before I could even draw the other one, he went, right? He just reached over and touched it and came back. And I thought, okay. So I asked him, I said, look, hang on, let me just finish and then I'll check it. So I did the other smiley face and then I drew a line. I said, now, can you show me again? And this time he went much slower. And I said, you're that sad, can you show me again? And this time he didn't even come back properly. So I asked him about the worm thing over there, and within about 10 minutes he was showing me worms and the teacher was doing a thing. So the thing